Every now and then a break is needed from all these greetings and meetings. I'm thankful that I can be in, but I need a break. Cause this life can be suffocating, traveling different locations, trying to get this money made.
And I believe it that I need it. These evil heathens are deceiving my seed is in.
Yo, what's going on? This is Current Climate. My name is Christian Dane. Got my boy Shard here. Shard, say something.
Hi.
Juice is not here tonight. Juice is home chilling.
Where is Juicy?
Juice is doing the family thing tonight. Not really. We kicked Juicy out the group. Don't tell him that. We will be doing a review for Dunkirk.
Is Juicy alive?
Last time I checked that, he is.
Okay.
Dunkirk, produced by Christopher Nolan, one of your favorites.
The GOAT.
The GOAT, as you would say.
The GOAT of this generation, at least.
Okay, you can say that.
Who's better than Christopher Nolan?
Right now?
Nobody.
Maybe Edgar Wright?
Oh, no. Edgar Wright just came back out. And Baby Driver is not as good as one of the Christopher Nolan movies of the last 10 years.
Quentin Tarantino?
No.
No?
No.
Zack Snyder?
No.
Zack is close.
Zack made some flops, though. Not flops, but he's made some. No, he doesn't flop, but Zack's made some.
He makes
movies
some bad
that
decisions.
Weren't that great.
He makes some poor decisions.
Yeah. He messed up on stuff Christopher Nolan never would have messed up on.
Yeah, I could see that. I think, yeah. All right. Anyway, review for Dunkirk. Movie had a bunch of actors in it. A bunch I've never heard of before. The most notable one is Tom Hardy, which I don't think.
Bang.
He really didn't have many lines. Probably said about 20 words through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Character named Fionn Whitehead. Another character named Damien Bernard. There's a lot of no-name actors. Well, not no-name, but actors that aren't really too popular in pop culture right now. Decent movie. We literally just saw it. I mean, we're fresh out the theater. Yeah. We saw it in IMAX.
The real IMAX.
Where like the screen's the size of my house.
I was scared.
It's a lot.
Like, it was so enormous.
It's a lot.
I was scared watching the movie.
So let me break this movie down. It's World War II. It's about Dunkirk. The historic story.
Well, that's the title.
The historic story of where the soldiers were on the shore and they had to get off. And I mean, while they were there, they're getting bombed and shot at. And at the end, the civilians come on their boats and save all the soldiers, save as many soldiers as they can. And it just follows that.
It's just like an evacuation story.
It's
really no.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's an evacuation
story.
Like he said at the end of the movie, all we did was survive, and the guy said, "Well, that's good enough."
Yeah,
that's good enough.
That's perfect.
That's
the whole synopsis of the movie, really.
Survival.
The weird thing, well, not the weird thing. The kicker to this movie is that it follows 3 different storylines, all in 3 different. I wouldn't say different chronological orders, but not linear orders of how they follow with time. One storyline follows this young soldier over a week's period of time. One story follows a family, a father and son, civilians who have a boat. They follow over a day's period of time. And then another story is a pilot, and it follows him over an hour of time. If you don't catch that in the first 15 minutes of the movie, you're probably going to be lost. So make sure you get to this movie early.
If you blink, you're going to be lost.
Yeah, basically.
Don't take your eyes off the movie the entire time. First off, it won't be easy to take your eyes off of it because it's an intense movie.
Very intense.
It's the most intense movie I've seen since American Sniper. Like, American Sniper had me intense.
American Sniper and what's it called? Black Hawk Down, to me, are in the same category because I'm gonna get to the score later. But yeah, it's very visually, it's intense from the start, from the jump.
Yeah,
it is just go the whole time. It is just go. The timelines of the movie kind of throw you off a little bit because it's not these type of movies where at the end you get a big payoff. It's like, that's how it all connects.
Yeah,
no, don't expect this to happen in this movie.
You will literally be lost. It doesn't matter what you do. Yeah. You'll be lost at some point in this movie.
Even with me telling you this is going to happen, you're still going to get lost.
You're going to get lost in the movie. The great thing about the movie is it's not that long.
Yeah.
Because with a Christopher Nolan usually is about around 2 hours and 45 minutes. The Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, Interstellar, like he makes long movies.
How long was this movie?
This movie was like an hour and 47 minutes.
It was perfect.
So it was perfect for the cat. And I really don't know if I could have taken the intensity for longer than that.
Nah.
It was so intense.
Yeah.
Like my Duke was clenched together. I'm still
I think
having
it's
problems doo-dooing. I tried to go in there and use it. I'm still having problems doo-dooing because my Duke is still clenched so tight.
I think that was everybody in the theater. Because when I looked around, everybody was like on pins and needles
Yeah.
the whole movie. Like people were
It's
just awkward.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
an intense movie.
It is. And it's like there's no it's like PG-13. There's like I didn't see any blood.
I do none. I saw no blood. I do wish it was rated R. So it could have been a little bit more graphic.
Yeah.
That would have made it a little bit more.
What, more tense?
Yeah, I can't say tense.
I was about to say, you don't need it more tense.
I mean, it was tense. It followed. It went from. It was telling a story from the land perspective. It was telling a story from the air perspective, and it was telling the story from the water perspective. So it was 3 different places. It was soldiers on land, soldiers on boats, and then soldiers in the air.
Yeah.
So that's how the whole movie was going.
So it's between that and the timeline.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was.
But you will get lost. Get ready. You will get lost.
It was genius how they directed and wrote that.
Oh yeah. I'm not completely sure yet how I feel about the movie as a whole, but the movie was brilliantly made. I mean, you can't even deny.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies to where you have to be a movie fan. Like you can't just be a casual moviegoer and like this movie. You got to be a movie fan. You got to appreciate the visual effects. You got to appreciate how the movie was shot with IMAX cameras.
Yeah.
You got to appreciate the score. Like the music throughout the movie was really what kept it so tense.
Yeah.
Because really it was a lot of parts when it was nothing really going on, and the music manipulated you to be tense the entire time.
It was brutal. It was brutal. But like you were saying, don't go into this movie thinking you're gonna get a summer blockbuster. It's not that type of movie. It's not for the casual fan.
No.
You need to go if you need to be a person who really likes the art of movies and enjoys a good movie. You could sit down and watch a movie. Don't go into this thinking it's like Transformers, where you're gonna see a lot of explosions and action and lines and funny. You're not gonna get that.
It's not Saving Private Ryan. It's not American Sniper.
There was not one comedic line throughout this whole movie.
None. It was no light in this movie.
No.
This movie was like dark, tense, gritty.
Mm-hmm.
It was messy. Like it made you really feel like you were in the middle of the war. Like it was messy. Like this one time the guy just pulled his pants down and doo-dooed on the beach. No tissue, no nothing. Just pulled his pants back up and went. But that's got to be how it was. You know,
you gotta take a shit sometimes.
How I would, you got to go home. You got to use the bathroom. You don't got a toilet to get to, so you got to use it where you are. No tissue, and just go on with the rest of your day. Go on and finish what the mission is. So
it was that type of movie.
It really made you feel like you were in the war.
Yeah.
It was the biggest thing I can say about it is that it was an extremely tense movie. It was detailed. I mean, everything Christopher Nolan does, any movie he does, it's extremely detailed. Like he was even like when Tom Hardy was in the plane. I mean, just the way that he was maneuvering inside the plane.
Mm-hmm.
You could like all the controls and stuff that you wouldn't even think about. You know, he was pressing. Okay, I see how that works. I see how you let the wheels out and everything like that. It's just Christopher Nolan's an extremely detailed director. He is. Anyway,
he is. I think, like you said before, I think a lot of the movie had to do with the score.
Yeah,
the score made.
It manipulated you.
The whole. I'm listen here, people.
The score manipulated you.
I'm talking about from the beginning of the movie till the end of the movie. There is just this. It's this score where it's a constant buildup. It's like it starts off a quiet sound, and it just builds and louder and louder and louder.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the Joker score.
Okay.
In The Dark Knight, to where it was just that like it almost sounded just like an alarm going on.
Yeah, that's
like it's just going off and it's ringing and it's telling you. The music is the score is telling you that something is about to happen.
I'm gonna give you
sometimes it wouldn't happen when you thought it was gonna happen. It would just stop and go to another scene. But the score manipulated you into thinking that something was always about to happen. That's what made it so tense.
The perfect example I could give you is imagine watching a movie for an hour and 40 minutes and hearing the Jaws theme song for the whole fucking movie.
Or the Jason or Michael Myers music the whole time.
And say, ain't shit happening sometimes.
Yeah.
There's nothing, there's nothing happening. They're looking at the sky, but you're getting that.
It's like,
and you're like, yo, what the heck? Like, it was such a psychological trip they put on you in this movie.
Yeah. It's manipulated.
The whole movie has you on pins and needles just because of the score. Like, if you watch that movie in silence, which you could do because there was no talking,
you could watch it
you'd be fine.
You could watch the movie on mute.
Yeah, you'd be fine.
And get whatever it is you need to get out of the movie.
Was just,
well, you won't get the tense though because the music and the score is what made it so tense.
Brutal.
It's like Jason is coming the entire movie
for an hour and 40 minutes, and they would stop it for like a millisecond and then turn it back on, but then a different key.
Yeah,
so it's like a lower or higher key. It was brutal.
And then you would get off of the score, and then once you got off of the score, that ticking starts. Yeah, and that would hold the intensity over until it gets to another score.
It didn't stop.
The score manipulated you into thinking that it was a fast moving pace movie.
Personally,
but to be honest with you, the movie would stop a time or two.
Yeah.
And then no dialogue.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I don't know what to feel about it, because it's a different kind of movie. It's no dialogue in the movie. It's acting, because they got to use their eyes, they got to use their emotions, they got to use, but it's not. I love dialogue in movies. Yeah, and it's not a lot of dialogue in this movie.
There's not.
That's why I don't know how I feel about it.
That's the one. I mean, there could be other takeaways. That's the major takeaway of this movie, that there is no dialogue. There's a little bit of character development, yes, but there's no dialogue. Like, there's nobody you could really sink your teeth into. Yeah. When I left the movie, I couldn't say which character was my favorite. Yeah, there was nobody really I bought into.
I didn't buy it. Like, even the characters that were in it were kind of
blah,
unlikable characters. Yeah, like, I didn't care if they lived or died. And to be honest with you,
and I mean, he did it on purpose.
Yeah,
I think this movie was done on purpose to be like that, because I personally, at any minute, I was like, okay, yeah, somebody's gonna die.
Yeah,
I think I just never really. I guess it's like war. I mean, you never really got invested because you kind of figure like some of these guys are expendable.
Yeah,
so it's the weirdest thing. And there was
it kind of felt like the higher ups look at soldiers. Remember the line in Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
When the general said they're soldiers, they die. That's what they do. That's what this movie made you feel like. This movie, it didn't have any heart in it.
No.
It was no heart in this movie.
No.
Because it was no dialogue. It was no human emotion. It was no character to latch on to. The most I did was I rejoiced when Tom Hardy landed his plane. Like,
for about a minute and a half.
For a minute
and a half.
Yeah.
You got to rejoice.
Yeah.
But it did have one thing.
I was like, that doggone Tom landed that plane.
Tom can land anything. One thing I can't say, there was moments in this movie where so I guess the key word from this review is tense. Okay, we said tense about 50 times already.
Yeah.
But the one thing about this movie, there were certain moments where they took that tense level up like 50 notches.
Yeah.
Like that moment when they were in the boat in that what was it, like a battleship, and it got hit with a torpedo.
Oh yeah.
And it went underwater.
Yeah.
So now, like, they have the camera underwater, and you just see faces, and it made you feel. I guess it's the IMAX experience in the score, but it made you feel like you were underwater and you couldn't breathe. Then there was another moment when they were in the water and there's oil everywhere, and the fire hits, and the guy's underwater, and he's come up for air.
Yeah.
Like, there was like little moments like that where it's just like
it would go from 10 to 25.
Yeah, there was
like,
never
the intensity would go from 10 to 25.
It was brutal. Like, it got to the point where I just had to like put my hands on my head and just like take a little.
You needed a break,
deep breath, and looked around at everybody else like, yo, what the hell?
It took me 5 minutes after we got out of the movie theater to like breathe. Because like you needed a break after watching this movie. It was so tense the entire time. But I think you have to watch it in IMAX to get the full experience. If you watch it in standard, you're not gonna like this movie at all. You gotta watch it in IMAX, because watching it, and I mean the real IMAX, like at the McWayne Center or wherever you go to watch a real IMAX, because when they went underwater, I started holding my breath.
Yeah.
Because it was like right in my face.
If you're claustrophobic,
and it made you feel
this movie is gonna really die. It's gonna hurt you.
You'll die. You'll die.
Hurt you.
That because it makes you feel like you're in like an active war zone.
Yeah.
And it's life or death. One thing about the soldiers, strangely enough, the soldiers didn't have a lot of heroic moments.
No.
Like it was kind of
it's every man for himself.
Every man for himself. Like even if I have to go through you, it's about survival. That's what the entire movie is about.
I think that's like
survival.
I think that's how it was in real life. I think they kind of knew that they backs against the wall.
Yeah.
Enemies firing on them. I mean, they're just dwindling in numbers. I mean, they were just it's like
because from where we're sitting, we would always think that like soldiers are just one big team and nobody leaves anybody behind, and it's a big team. But looking at this movie, it's like every man for himself. We don't know where anything is coming from. The enemy is everywhere. Like it's every man for himself.
It's brutal.
And that's what this particular movie. Now you talk about Saving Private Ryan or something like that, then it gives you more team.
It was brutal.
But this movie was like every man for himself, man. It was so brutal, and I could get it because it was brutal.
Yeah. I mean, every time you think there's some hope, it just got squandered.
Yeah. Like you see that iconic movie moment when everybody thinks everything's gonna be okay, and then they look up toward the sky and their eyes get like 10 inches bigger, and you know something else is coming, and the music goes up, and then the bombs start flying from everywhere.
You didn't think the music could go any higher. Oh, but they proved you wrong.
It goes like like it just keeps getting higher.
And that was normal because then from there it went up about 50 more octaves.
It goes up again. It goes up again when somebody catches on fire or something like that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But the movie was brilliantly made, and if you like movies, if you're a movie fan, then you'll appreciate this movie.
You'll appreciate the art.
Yeah, you'll appreciate the art. You'll appreciate the score. You'll appreciate the filmmaking.
I can see why he did this.
Cinematography.
He did this to get an award.
Oh yeah.
This was his award movie.
This is a heat check, as they would say in basketball. It's a heat check.
He's going for
how good am I? It's time for me to get an Oscar.
Yeah, he's going for something. I think he's ready to get something.
Yeah.
6 stars. What do you give it?
See, this is why I said at the very beginning that I didn't know how I felt about it yet. I know that it's a brilliantly made movie. If I'm looking at it, okay. If I'm looking at it from a director standpoint, I'd give it a 6.
Yeah.
From the way it was out of 6 stars.
From a director standpoint.
Mind you, we don't go to 10.
Yeah.
We go to 6 stars.
Yeah. And from a director standpoint, from how it looked, and the way it was shot, the cinematography and the music, and the acting,
it's
the casting,
perfect on that.
Yeah.
But if I'm going from an audience standpoint, just how much I enjoyed the movie,
4.
A 4. I'd go a 4.
A solid 4.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I really don't got a lot of desire to watch it again.
No.
I guess I could say.
Honestly, I may watch it again if it was on like Netflix.
Yeah.
Now that I know how the whole timeline works, I didn't know before.
Yeah.
I would do that.
But the movie is a good movie. It's a solid movie. But from a director standpoint, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like everything in it is perfect. But my personal preference, I'm a big dialogue guy. I wanna hear a lot of dialogue. I want to hear a lot of conversation. I want those lines that I can take home with me and kind of apply them to life, I guess. Stuff like that. That's what I do with movies. I take certain lines from movies. Any movie. Like what was that movie I was watching last night? I
wasn't there. What you asking me for?
I was watching. Okay. I was watching Grown Ups, and Grown Ups is just a silly little movie or whatever like that. But at the end, when she said, "In life, the first act is always exciting, and the second act is where all the depth comes in at." Like I like to take lines from movies. It's no line to take from this movie. Like you don't get that.
The only
to
thing
take
you
from
got
this
line
movie.
from this is when you look up at the bombs.
Yeah.
Shit, I can remember.
Yeah.
All right, man. So that was our review of Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
Make sure you
Christopher Nolan, the GOAT.
Like this page, subscribe, share with a friend. Tell us what you think about the movie and rate us too. I mean, go on Facebook, give us a rating. You can follow us on Twitter, and it's at Current Climate, Current with a K, Climate with a K. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're everywhere where you want to be. So follow us. And
hey, and while you're looking at everything, try to shut up while you're doing it. Okay.
All right. This is Current Climate. My name is Christian Dane. Shaw, say something.
Bye.
All right.
On my phone rings, too cool to answer, too gold chain. On my Tupac shit without the nose ring. On my hoodie shit, fuck what these folks think. If Jake can make it from Mossy, then I'm gonna hide a couple bricks under my car seat. Tell my mama I was never sorry. Tell her that they got me going 60 and a 40. Catch me, nigga. Screaming, catch me, nigga, I'm too fast. Don't test me, nigga. Came from the bottom, single mother, never used food stamps. Alright, man. Product of my environment. I'm tired, man. Put the metal to my little nigga's chest. No Tony Stark, but I keep that Iron Man. Breathe, nigga, breathe. The last thing you hear is the sound of a gun ring. White America don't give a fuck, it's the death of another young king.